Hey guys, in this short video tutorial we'll see how to create or save favicon using Photoshop. Now probably we don't need to discuss what a favicon is. Probably we already know. It is a small image that is used to display in the or basically it is an icon that is used to identify a website. So if we go to this website, the small image that is appearing here is the favicon. And similarly, I'm using Opera browser here, so even the browser has an icon here, and even Google has an icon here. So that is a favicon which appears in the browser. So if we want to know what a favicon is, I have opened up Google search here. So a favicon is an icon associated with a particular website, typically displayed in the address bar of a browser accessing the site or next to the site name in a user's list of bookmarks. So that is what a favicon is. So this is the favicon. In this case, this is the favicon. So if you are already here, probably you are already aware of what a favicon is and you are wondering how to create one. So that is what we'll be covering in this video. So I have Photoshop open here. As you can see, if I create a new file and I want to save this, let's just put a small text here, A. Suppose I want to save this image as a favicon, then I don't have an icon in my list that enables me to save as a favicon. As you can see, I don't have any icon related file format to save. An icon will typically have a .ico file extension, which I don't see in this list. Luckily, there is a plugin for Photoshop which will enable us to save an image as favicon. So that is what we'll be checking now. So in order to get the plugin, please go to this link. telegraphics.com.au/software/sw/product/ICO format. Now on the left hand side, you should be able to see ICO Windows icon format. Now on this page, scroll down and download the appropriate plugin file for 32-bit Windows or 64-bit Windows, whichever is appropriate for you. And there are also plugins for Mac as well. So right now I'm using a 64-bit window and my Photoshop is also a 64-bit, so I will be downloading this one. So I have already downloaded that, so I'm just going to go there. I have renamed the file to Photoshop ICO format here. So this is the plugin. So the plugin has 64 in it, which means it's a 64-bit. If it is a 32-bit, it won't have the 64 mentioned here. So we're just gonna copy this one. By the way, the installation is also instruction is given in the README file. If you want to check it out, you can go through the README file to know about the installation steps. Anyways, this is the plugin that we need to install. So I'm just going to copy this one and go to the C drive. Now in the C drive, since it's a 64-bit file that I downloaded, I will be installing here under program files. If you have downloaded the 64-bit, 32-bit, then you will be installing under program files. So since it's 64-bit that I have downloaded and my system is 64-bit, so I'll be installing under program files. So under program files, we should be able to see a folder by the name Adobe and Adobe Photoshop. I'm using 5.1 by the way. Yeah, quite backward. So once again, C, program files, Adobe, Photoshop. Then under Photoshop, we should be able to find a folder by the name plugins. Then under plugins we should be able to find a folder by the name file formats, and this is where we need to paste the plugin. Permission is required, so continue. So the plugin is installed. Now I have Photoshop open, so I'm going to be closing Photoshop now, and I will restart Photoshop. Now to check whether we have installed a plugin, we can also go to Help, About Plugins, and we should be able to see ICO Windows icon or Favicon. Okay, so now let's try saving a file as a Favicon. So I'm going to be creating for web, and the size I'm choosing is 300 by 250, and usually since Favicons are a square, I'm going to change the size to 64-bit by 64-bit. Okay. Now let's include a text, suppose ABC, which is too big for now, so Enter 2. I'm gonna center this one. Now suppose this is our Favicon file and we want to save this as .ico format. Then File, Save As, Desktop. Now as you can see, earlier we did not have this .ico file format, but now we are getting this one, so that means we can save as an icon. So I'm just gonna leave the file name as this, save. You don't have permission to, okay, no. Desktop, I see. So we'll be getting this prompt to choose the file format, even though we have chosen in the file dialog when we are saving. So since this is an icon, we will be selecting the standard ICO. Okay, so the file is saved. Now I'm gonna be going to desktop, and as you can see, I've increased the, as you can see, this is the icon Favicon, and even the item type is showing as icon. So if we view this, that's the Favicon. So this is how to save or create a Favicon using Photoshop. And since we have installed the plugin, we can also import Favicons as well. From here you can choose .ico, and we have the file here. So that's all, guys. If you want to create a Favicon for your website, of course there are a lot of online tools available now to create Favicons, but if you are using Photoshop, then this is also a good way to create Favicons. So if you are interested, then you can download the plugin from this website. I'll be mentioning this link in the description as well. So this is where to download the plugin for Photoshop, and you can start using this to create Favicons for your websites. Thank you. That's all.